Alright, I've tried recording this and reworking this at least 3 times. I'm just done trying to be perfect. I just want this out there. So, here's the deal with GOML, aka Get On My Level, the event. I went to this at the start of July in Toronto, Canada. Woo! Yeah! Shout out CNN Tower, shout out the Six, shout out to Toronto Raptors. Woo! Yeah! Anyways, I had a lot of fun during this event. There was a lot of good. And it doesn't get superseded by the fact that there was a lot of bad. And by my goodness, there was a lot of bad. So I will be playing clips of me recording this event as this video goes along. But holy crap, dude. The bad got to the point where I'm like, bro, I am too pissed off to record for footage right now. So if there's repeated footage, yeah, please forgive me on that one. But yeah, anyways, kick back, relax as I talk about GOML and my experience, because this is probably going to be a long one. So the good for me, for this event. So I was staying at the Sheraton Hotel. It was very nice. It was very immaculate looking. Just the room itself and the hotel itself had an amazing gym. First thing that comes to mind, it is exceedingly better than the goddamn Kalahari gym in Ohio when I went to Riptide. But there's also a bunch of places to get food nearby. Unlike the Kalahari hotel, I can actually explore the city, which is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie, considering that this is my first time coming over to Toronto in my full 25 years of living in Canada. Yeah, no. There was also, yeah, a lot of places for food I missed out on, so if I ever come back to Toronto, either because of GOML or because of a trip to see family, I kind of want to hit them up. But yeah, no, one of the places that stood out was there's a food truck, a strip of food trucks. I don't care that I might have got ripped off, whatever. As probably the least egregious thing I got ripped off on. I will elaborate on that later, but I ended up getting Filipino food, which was pretty sick. But yeah, enough about talking about the city. How did the bracket go? How did the brackets go for me and the event overall? So in doubles, I ended up getting ninth with bullets. We both did not take that seriously at all. In fact, we do not take doubles seriously at all, and it's hilarious that we did decent, any slight bit decent, because we were like, yo, let's just not grind doubles. Let's not even grind it when we land and get setups. No, we're just gonna practice singles, and then that we did. Alright, so yeah, and in singles I was seeded to go 17th. As an American, yep. But no, I ended up getting 25th, losing out to Uda and Rivals of Aether 1 champion, Rivals of Aether 1 Evo champion Dolphin Brick, which honestly I am perfectly fine with. I am still proud with how I played, just overall at GOML, and all I can ask for are win or lose, all I can ask for is the sets being fire as fuck, to the crowd, to the people watching or that have the privilege of watching, and also to feel I played my best. That's all I can really ask for. And yeah, no, that's just the road to improvement for me, is even if there's salt in the moment, the salt just evaporates or evaporates eventually. It doesn't stay longer than a day, but it's just another way for me to want to improve. And that's the only there's just no other way around it, because it's either I stay mad and then stay stagnant, or I just get all that negative energy out and then move on and then grow. That's all there is to it. But yo, speaking of fire sets, after I was done getting knocked out one of my homies, Bullets, was making a run, and oh my goodness, there was a set that went up for that didn't get streamed, unfortunately, but it was basically Bullets versus Bob Got Him, and the set was so fire. Okay, basically, I want to preface this where Cake Run Gungshu is going on stream, right? Then there's like already a crowd for that one, but then we see Bullets and Bob Got Him are about to play on the Street Fighter 6 setup we hijacked. I might elaborate on that. But basically, BC crew gets up and then walks over to that setup, and then also Bob's homies go up to watch that set because yeah, we all want to support our picks, right? And holy crap, dude, we were all going nuts for every single hit, whether it was big or small, and it's just pure silence whenever they were just moving around each other, trying to weave around each other, right? And then gasp anytime somebody whiffs anything. It got to the point where like we were getting so amped up and like popping off for like each person like winning. It got to the point where everyone that was left in the venue was just watching this stupid Edelweiss Ditto on the Street Fighter 6 setup that we hijacked, not caring about the stream set that's going on, any of them, and literally, it was I really wished it was streamed. Like, that's all there is to it. This is the type of shit of like why I love going to events. Everyone having this shared passion and enthusiasm and peeps cheering for their homies. This is like a reminder of like why I love doing this, and I want to invoke that feeling in either whether I play or having that feeling when my friends are doing well in bracket. Like that is like the reason why I love doing this. Now like I'm not done yet. My homie may have made top 8, but like. And I'm like already out, but that wasn't the end of like my run as it is. I still have to do commentary for top 8, and I ended up doing like the first half of top 8 with Nurse, and the action was just nothing but gas, no brakes. Like then there was rough spots I can spot on myself, like looking back at it, and we'll be looking to being better towards the future. Like if I end up doing commentary more. I was initially hard on myself with doing comms, but then I had to constantly remind myself like, hey, like I only decided to get serious in the booth since like what, February? Like February this year. I went from like doing a one-off at a regional in like here in BC to like doing the hop on weeklies, like pools, and then doing Battle of BC pools. Like the Battle of BC, like one of the big Canadian events that we got, like just in general, and then doing top 8 at GOML, the other like the other big Canadian major, like afterwards. I know that like there's no shot that this road is normal, and then also getting praise afterwards and adulation made me realize all of this, like yo, this shit ain't normal. And or it like reaffirmed to me that like I've made great leaps and bounds, and I still gotta put in the same amount of work to get better, so I can be more confident in myself and not have like this imposter syndrome. And like that's what keeps me hungry to want to keep improving on this. So I also wanted to like take this time to like really thank people for being positive with the positive feedback, and even like saying like positive feedback and then giving me constructive critiques. Like that is like what I value the most, is like if you got an issue with like how I do things, or like just literally like constructive criticism, like I will take it. Like I don't care if you didn't like it. If you have like suggestions, I'm very open to it. If you just say I suck, like how like the what 2% of like Twitch chat and some of the YouTube comments are saying, Like, oh, I'm annoying, I suck. Bro, alright. You pick up the mic. You go up to your local, like your local scene, go up and do commentary yourself and see how easy it is. Like, like come back. Because this shit's hard. This shit's hard, and and also show me up. Like, if it's so goddamn easy. Like, do it. Please. We need more commentators in general. So I very much welcome it. And show me how it's done. But yeah, that was basically like my run of the event, and like I very much like I see it as good because I enjoyed it so much, and I also enjoyed like meeting and seeing people and getting like the few friendlies I did get, and then like kind of like also like trying to encourage like newer players or like people like when I was walking around trying to get them to like try the game, or like whenever I did mention Rivals of 8, they're like, oh man, that game is sick, where's it at? And then I like point them in the direction. Like, I want more people to come into the game and I want to like be a little more of like that positive influence as I can. I'm not perfect, but I try, and that's all I really can do. Alright, but that's gonna end the good portion, but I also want to leave it out with like shoutouts to Max Ketchum for even giving me the opportunity to do comms just in general, and then just putting me on for top 8. That is insanity. I was expecting to do like pools, even though we didn't do pools. Either do pools or like top 64, like, but no, doing the first half of top 8, like, that is insane. And like just having that much faith in somebody who is like very, very much new to this, I'm grateful for that. I'd also want to shout out, I would also want to like really thank Nurse. Like, really love to thank Nurse for carrying me in some spots, because holy shit, I was rough in some aspects, and also I was like really hard on myself for like certain points, and like I feeling like I failed like overall. But no, like I also really want to thank her for like really helping me out with that and like being reassuring. I'd also want to thank Copter for saying like I did like we did well. Like, that meant a lot to me. And also like really, and also Jet and Copter, like, again, for giving me advice for when it came time for Battle of BC, and like that advice like still carries through to me to this day, and it really came through. It's still a huge motivator for me, for fellow commentators being very much supportive of each other. I also want to thank PNW as a whole for being awesome. There's too many of us. Dude, for being awesome and being amazing company to be around. I want to be around for more shit if it's possible, if it's within the cards, and also for playing our hearts out. I like to think we killed it. And then as well as like Toronto rival scene for being like welcoming and hospitable. And then also I'd want to thank Duo Site and Bagel, those two, and also like the plethora of others like that helped out with the event. Like that they were the reason why the event ran as smooth as it did at all, despite all the issues. I will elaborate more on that later. And honestly, shoutouts to everybody that I met over the weekend. There's way too many y'all. I just want to encompass that. Like, and also for the amazing vibes and for saving the weekend, like that weekend for me, because oh my god. And then really one of the biggest thank yous has to go to Vincent, aka VLB Belong, for preemptively securing the room like months in advance, saving me, Bullets, and Debrook time, stress, and a lot of money. And then yeah, no, that's gonna end all the all the good vibes. Gonna move on to the bad portion. Okay, I'm gonna start out really small for this section, and then I'm just gonna rev it up as we go. Anyways, day 0, Thursday, Debrook and I land. We dump our shit like in the room. go down to meet BC rivals, and bam, 0 setups. Wow, 0 setups for rivals. Wow, I guess fuck us, because even FGC had some of their shit set up. So yeah, no, BC crew ended up spending like the rest, like the last half of day 0, getting expensive mid-ass chicken at Dave's Hot Chicken Place. Okay, but now for real now. Day 1, after getting my badge and then like flashing the VIP badge and then meeting up with Bullets downstairs, like, cause we had doubles. We basically had doubles like during that time, and then find out, oh hey, we only got like 18 setups. We only got 2 tables. Now that's barely an issue. Like, when you realize, oh wait, these are all gaming laptops. See, now that's fine. However, running an event like this on this absurd scale with gaming laptops for more than 10 hours of the day, just like grinding the game, not even just doing bracket, also doing friendlies. Dude, these are gonna shit itself eventually, and then like likely have technical issues. And then also, it's a like, I also want to elaborate. Singles is a 250 person bracket, so, and that's all the setups we're getting is 18 laptops. Wow, that's not even the best part. Like, the best news I got during that day, doubles was never gonna get streamed on Friday, so that was amazing. Yep, that was awesome. And there was also more confusion to that, because even Aether Studios tweeted out a stream. It's like, yo, catch doubles around this time on like VG Bootcamp, only showing off Street Fighter 6. Let's freaking go, dude. I love the communication. But yeah, no, the greatest part about day 1 though was receiving the news that Pools isn't getting streamed at all, and also Losers for Top 64 isn't getting streamed at all. I'll elaborate on this like a little later. But anyways, speaking of the stream schedule, Pools was getting streamed and Top 48, but then they had to change it to Top 64 because there was a problem with like the fact that if it was Top 48, people were just floating their way into points. So yeah, they changed it to Top 64. It should have just been Top 64 from the jump. But then, on top of that, commentators were confused because we were initially told Top 48 was getting streamed. Hell, we were even told doubles was getting streamed. So there was that. And then, yeah, my friend was trying to get information on this, and then try to make contact with one of the higher ups so we can inform commentators about this. I'm not gonna expose names. I'll give you a little hint. It wasn't the dude that DM'd me seeing if I wanted to do comms. So yeah, I'll give it's the hint I'm giving you. And you'll know who it is because I'm gonna be pulling quotes out beat for beat. You told my friend basically to piss off fuck out of my face. But you told my friend that sounds like the commentator's problem. They should keep themselves informed of updates. Bro, are you serious right now? You want to talk about like trying to keep ourselves informed? How are we even supposed to keep keep track of like what's in the venue, what's it not, when I show you this tomfoolery known as the GOML map, the map we were given for this goddamn event? Dude, I was given this email like a few days before, like 4 days before, and it spawned in my spam folder, so that's cool. And then we were given a link at the bottom for the FAQ, and then you eventually get to the map, and what the fuck is that? Alright man, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, you look at this map, I'm recording this after Evo, so this is the context. So I look at this map, and then I look at CEO's map, and then I look at Evo's map. The GOML map is pathetic. Like, it looks so goddamn pathetic. I am low-key appalled that this is like considered professional. Like, one of my other homies shouldn't look at this map and say I could do better. Like, dude, why does it seem like FGC and Rivals felt so tacked on last minute And that's honestly, like, with how this event was ran, like, for Rivals, like, that's how it feels. You could have easily either given FGC or Rivals half the ladder side for Melee and Ultimate, and then give Rivals or FGC the stupid square. But no, I'm nothing but a trashy row of 1 player. That, like, what do I know about running big events, or like know about like being at big events? And then yo, you look how segregated Smash is from the other side of the venue. Like, yeah, no wonder people couldn't find us, and also no wonder there was a shit ton of DQs. Like, before people used the argument, like, maybe if you guys didn't suck, you guys wouldn't have so many DQs. Okay, well then, like, if I was given this, like, if I wasn't given a map and, like, nobody knew, like, where Rivals was, like, how was I supposed to find this shit? Like, what? I also, like, want to talk a little bit about production, because, like, Nurse and I peaked a lot during, like, to an absurd degree, because the gates, I guess, were set too low. But I also really want to point out, like, oh yeah, no player cans when the games get going. Part of the reason why I feel like we got heat for being too amped up on the mic is because we couldn't see player reactions and the crowd reactions like you could with Smash. Like, dude, all I was trying to do was trying to match the energy of the crowd, and the crowd was, like, amped up for, like the sets where, like, the shouting really got bad. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what am I supposed to, like, what are we supposed to do? Just sit there, and talk eloquently? Nah, like, what do you expect? But anyways, I was talking about day 1. Want to talk about day 2? Basically, yeah, none of pools got streamed, and then none of losers of top 64 got streamed, which is a fucking crime. And, like, also we didn't have that much time in the first place, which, like, that's why we couldn't have top 64 losers streamed, or at least the qualifiers. You didn't have the top 8 qualifiers streamed. That's insane to me. Oh my god, dude, there's, like, a lot of sets, like, that we missed out on. Like, dude, it's insane to me. Like, man. Like, the sets I think we, like, really missed out on, and it would have been a treat to see, was, like, yeah, of course, Bullets versus Bob got him. Cheesy versus ZB. Dakpo versus Sandstorm. Yoda Cage versus Maya. And then also Dakpo versus Evo Nardwar. And I'll say it, I'm fucking shameless. I think this set was fire. Me versus Uda. I think that would have been cool to watch on stream and look back on, because we were doing insane shit to each other. Like, yeah, we have the replays for, like, majority, like, of the lost sets, but dude, that's gonna be a bitch and a half to try to upload again, but whatever. So yeah, of course, after all, like, while all this was going on, one of my homies was, like, trying to, like, get in contact with the higher ups of GOML, and then, yeah, no, like, of course it did not. I will say this, 2 out of the 3 were very receptive and very understanding, but that same motherfucker who was, like, I basically told my friend to fuck off, was not receptive at all. And then you basically said, you basically said to get out of this conversation. Is like, you're being really difficult right now. I have other things to do. I am ending this conversation. Everybody else in that circle was far more understanding and receptive, and were, like, very sympathetic. However, I really want to say this, like, if it were me, I would just leave it, but at the same time, I would never want to work with you again. Like, I don't want to work in a field where I deal with people, and then, like, I know there's, like, some things that need to be said with grace, and then you didn't show any of that grace whatsoever. You basically brushed on my friend and disrespected them, and I very much, like, hate that. And they were really more calm about it than I ever would be, and that's where my admiration for them comes in. Because of what the fuck, dude. because that to me like showed weak leadership. And anytime somebody showed any cracks at the event, or you got the slightest bit of pushback, you showed weak leadership and you acted like a perpetuant child, and that gives me like shitty perception of like Smashy Bro events, and it discourages me from even wanting to try to work with people there, and for me to even want to go out, border issues aside, and like try to like spend my money at these events. Like, dude, like I just wanted to spend time with the homies and compete, and then maybe spit words at the booth. But if I have to constantly worry about this, like, dude, it makes me not want to bother coming along. And I'm obviously spreading the word right now. Like, I don't know, make your own judgment. And then like when I said like, hey, yo, I feel like the food. What I said, the food was like the least moment, like it was like one of the reprieves. It's like, oh, I didn't feel as scammed like as like in general as like I did in this general trip. All right, so for me, GOML was good because I'm like, I know people there. Like, I am more likely to not go 1-2, 0-2, or 2-2 even. Like, that's more likely to happen, and then I also have a chance to do commentary. So for me, I didn't feel like I got scammed. But if I was just a Rivals fan and I'm like not tapped into the community, I would feel scammed, especially if I was just like average Timmy going 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, and like I have no friends in the community, and I wanted to make friends doing friendlies, and I couldn't use the setups for friendlies because it had to be used for bracket. We had just enough for bracket. So I'd feel even more isolated, and we couldn't even use the 24-hour venue. Because we had to pack shit up early. Because stealing, like theft would have been a major issue. Because gaming laptops are very easy to steal. Yo, I love the 6, bro. Shout out CN Tower. Shout out the Raptors. Let's go. And I hate feeling this way. I hate feeling this way of like where we get Lil Bro'd to the point where it's like it feels like it's through either incompetence and not asking Rivals TOs what they need or what Rivals fans would want, or you're just blatantly doing this on purpose. Like, I want Rivals to stand beside Smash, not behind it. You're getting Lil Bro'd, you guys gotta earn your stripes. Bitch, we've been doing this for almost a decade with Rivals of Aether 1, and it's like, okay, it made sense, like, why we got Lil Bro'd when it came to Rivals 1, but the reason why I still feel infuriated as a competitor is part of me feels bitter at the fact with Rivals 2, we still are getting Lil Bro'd, and we sacked what made us so unique from other plat fighters, so it was easier for people to digest Rivals, for us to even get spin attorneys. So for that to not matter in the end, and we still get Lil Bro'd, it makes me lose hope that we could even stand beside Smash, and for us getting a representation. Because like I thought these events is supposed to be a celebration of platform fighters like as a whole, and then not just Smash. Like, that sucks. I just want it to stop. Either give us by giving us more respect, or like just by not having us at all. Like, I swear, dude, I want to look towards more all events that have Rivals of Aether in them and not dread them when it's at Smashy Bro events, or have cautious optimism. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay, I briefly want to touch on this one. It's like nothing to do with the event as a whole, but like it's basically my future in competing in R2CS. So unless there's like online brackets on the weekend, I repeat, online brackets on the weekend that count, or Canadian brackets that just spawn out the wazoo, I'm out the running for R2CS. And quite frankly, I don't feel safe going down south. I don't care if customs is easy peasy at this point. Dude, like, I don't care. Dude. I don't care if it's easy peasy for me right now because of people not wanting to tour to the US, but oh, Outcast, you're just being a bitch. There are people more at risk than you for traveling. You're just a bitch, okay? Okay, I guess worrying if I get detained for weeks on end with no way out and making my family worried is me being a bitch, then I'm the biggest one, dude. I'm the biggest one. I'm the biggest coward you've ever met. Then, like, dude, I already don't have fun. Like, I barely have fun. Like, or I, like, basically dread going to Smashy Bro events. Like, I don't want to have to worry about this. And then I also, like, barely like some food in America as is. Dude, I'm not gonna have a good time. Like, I'm, like, not gonna have a good time being stressed out, like, at the possibility of that happening. That shit should be 0% if I have a passport. And like I have a Canadian citizenship, but yo, dog, I just don't care. Like I look brown, like they don't give a fuck. Like and that's and like I hate that that's a possibility I have to think about. But I'm like the biggest breadwinner of the family. I have to think about that. And then yeah, no, like the fact I have to worry about that because I'm not boutique, like that's crazy. I want to think things may get better in the future. And like I'm hopeful for that. I just wish it was sooner rather than later. Hopefully by then like I can start competing seriously in 2026 or maybe even the last half of 2025. But at the moment I just want to focus on BC or helping PNW players get out to more shit because I'm tired of us getting slept on. Like if it's within my cards to like hand money out, like maybe like it's possible. Or like even go to Canadian events, even despite it not counting for R2CS. Like I feel like we also get overlooked, like Canadians get overlooked. And if it's within the cards for me to go, I will go. And I also want to get better on the mic, because like I said, I want to improve on that. There were spots where I was rough, and that's fixable. Because also maybe in 2026 I can do commentary more if I don't feel like competing. But as of right now I also just see this season, like this first season, as just growing pains, and I'm hopeful for R2CS to like be more successful next season, especially like for me. I want to make my mark like in my own way for now, like within this time period, so I can come back stronger next season. Well, that's my experience with GOML. Like, despite all the bullshit, like I still had a good time because I was hanging out with like amazing group of people, and like the community was awesome from my experience. And I just hope the next time like we go to a Smashy Bros event that it's like better for Rivals players, because my god, dude, wow, there's a lot of improvement that needs to go on. But anyways, yeah, follow the socials. I got Twitter and Blue Sky, and also like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you want to see more of me, I stream on Twitch Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays, and I also stream on YouTube, so that's even more incentive to subscribe, folks. Like if you want more of me. And then I also have a creator code. Use code 1outcast on like in the creator tab in Rivals of Aether 2 if you have the game, and if you have the money to purchase skin bundles. I get a little something, and then you also get a little something. Like you can get bonus Aether bucks, and you too can ball like a Laker in game. But yeah, that will do it for me. So yeah, stay safe, folks. Peace.